Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going over a Sisay Weatherlight Captain and Jegantha the Wellspring CEDH Superfriends deck. You heard it as CEDH Superfriends deck. And we'll get right into Sisay's ability. She says it gets +1/+1 for each color among legendary permanents you control, and you can pay one of every color and search your library for a legendary permanent card with a converted mana cost less than Sisay's power. Put that card onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. So we pair this with Jegantha as our companion to allow us to get that Wooburg mana, which is every single color, and activate her ability and hopefully win or have some fun with some planeswalkers. So we'll jump right into some stacks pieces to slow down our opponents and take advantage of that because of the way our deck is built. So we have Lavinia to prevent our opponents from casting non-creature spells with converted mana cost greater than the number of lands that player controls, and preventing our opponents from casting a spell if no mana is spent to cast it. So from that, we take advantage of that, and only 2 mana if we want to put it down, or we can even tutor for it with Sisay, a really great card. We have Rin, Wingmare, Thorn of Amethyst, and Thalia, which have the same all of effects to prevent our opponents from casting non-creature spells, pretty much to allow us to be more proactive and win the game. We have Deafening Silence, which pretty much does the same thing. Karn shuts down our opponent's artifacts. Valky allows us to get advantage from our opponents by pretty much stealing their creatures. The Fairy prevents our opponents from casting at instant speed until our turn, and allows us to cast sorceries at instant speed, which is really beneficial. Next, we have some ramp pieces. Of course, Jeweled Lotus, Mox Amber, Bloom Tender, because we want every single color. Ragavan, super good. Super great early card advantage. And ramp. Malcolm Key Navigator pairs with Sisay. Because of a lot of the pirates in this deck, Ragavan and Malcolm pair together, and even Dockside pairs with it. It's just a great way to get around your opponents and make treasure tokens. Vabro Elder, taps for every color. Um, Pretty much a Jegantha. Kinnan doubles the amount of mana we produce, so even more Sisay triggers. Dockside Extortionist, of course, one of the best ramp spells ever, for a reason. You can just get it out and activate and do whatever the heck you want with that mana. Now we have some interaction pieces and protection pieces. Of course, Veil of Summer to protect our combo, stay more proactive, and give us even card advantage. Active Negation, Assassin's Trophy, Swords to Plowshares, Deflecting Swat, and Fierce Guardianship. Next, we have some of the Planeswalkers in the deck, minus Ugin, because it's more of a meme card. With Sisay, you can't even get enough counters on it to be able to cast Ugin with her ability. So it's just here as a filler and as clickbait 100%. So if you want to replace Ugin with a Planeswalker that you see fit, go right ahead. It's just more of a fun thing to add, because why the heck not? So first we have Teferi once again. We have Oko, which can pretty much be interaction. Dak Faden, steal our opponent's artifacts. Aminatu, we can blink our creatures like Spellseeker and Imperial Recruiter and Dockside. Karn, of course, and Teferi, who sells the Sunset. I want to go into a little bit of this. You can +1 and choose up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, and 1 target land. And from that, you can untap Jegantha and tap it in to Sisay again, and that's a really good piece to have. So you could tutor after tapping Jegantha once for this Teferi, +1 him, untap Jegantha, and go into another tap with an extra mana on top of that. And then we have Tevish to put a target on Tevish rather than what we're doing on the field. And Ugin, maybe or maybe not, it's up to you. It could be a board wipe or fun. I mean, there's a lot of ramp in the deck, so it's up to you. Next, we have some of the card advantage in the deck. We have Reki, or Rikai, whatever the heck you want to say. The history of Kamigawa. Whenever you play a legendary spell, draw a card. We have a lot of legendaries in the deck. You're going to be drawing a lot of legendary cards, especially if you cast them. Sylvan Library, the best green card advantage card ever, in my opinion. Mystic Remora and Esper Sentinel, of course, and there's more. Just take a look at the deck list and you should be able to find them. Next, we have some haste enablers to be able to cast Jegantha and Activator and be able to put that right into Sisay and get a legendary permanent to deal some damage. So we have Lightning Greaves, Rhythm of the Wild, Sneak Attack, and Surge of Zeal. The reason why we have Sneak Attack is to be able to put Jegantha from our companion slot into our hand and be able to sneak attack it out right away. Surge of Zeal, target creature and each other creature that shares a color with it gains haste until end of turn. So if you have Jegantha out or Sisay in pairings of a lot of colored creatures, this will give them haste, and depending on how many creatures you tutor up with Sisay, you're going to be taking advantage of that really effectively. And then we have Samuet, Voice of Dissent. It has Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste, and other creatures you control have haste. This is a really important part of our combo that I'll be going into in just a second. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and we'll go straight into the combo as to why this is a CEDH deck. So, of course, relies upon Sisay and Jegantha. This deck also has tutors and uh, more CEDH things that are really basic that I really don't want to go into. You can look at it, and it's pretty much a consistency across most CEDH decks, so you can go ahead and take a look at that, and we'll jump right into the combo. So, of course, you want to get Sisay out and Jegantha if possible, and from there, you're going to activate Jegantha and put all that color pip into Sisay to then tutor up Derevi. So whenever Derevi enters the battlefield, uh, or a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may tap or untap target permanent. So with that being said, Derevi is going to enter the battlefield. You're going to get an untap trigger. You're going to untap Jegantha and pay that right back into Sisay. So from there, you're going to get another activation trigger, and you're going to put Semut Voice of Dissent onto the battlefield. So other creatures you control have haste. So Derevi now has haste. Sisay is now a 7/7. Jegantha is still tapped, and you're going to go to combat and swing for people that are open. So whenever you attack, you're going to get triggers off of Derevi because a creature you control dealt combat damage to a player. So you may untap or tap a target permanent. So from there, you're going to untap Jegantha once again and put that right back into Sisay. And we're going to go right into finding Najila. So this is our win combo pretty much. It says whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. Untap all attacking creatures. They gain trample, lifelink, haste until end of turn. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Activate this ability only during combat. So this is a lot of text and a lot of things to keep up with. So since we're in combat and we had that Derevi trigger, we untapped Jegantha, tapped it again, got Najila. So we most likely hopefully still have another untap trigger from Derevi because we attack with four creatures to hopefully hit someone. So from there, we get another untap. We tap it and activate Najila. From there, we get an additional combat phase. All of our creatures untap, and Jegantha is untapped. You tap again, and then activate Najila. You swing in, uh, untap again, tap Jegantha, swing in, untap again. It's an infinite combo. And from there, you should be able to win. It's a lot to keep up with and kind of comes out of nowhere, especially with your playful things you can do with the deck and all your planeswalkers. You can distract them. You have Stax pieces to slow them down, make them wary of what you're doing. Protect yourself. Make sure this combo can land. It's really not that hard. If you get things going, just protect your creatures from being destroyed, and you have an infinite combo right at your fingertips whenever you get Sisay and Jegantha out. So, I mean, it's up to you what you do with your mana and how you want to play the game. But if you want to go for that CDH combo straight off the bat and you're in a tournament, there you go. This is the way to go. So, in conclusion, thanks for watching and make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment as to what you want to see next. I'll try and make weekly videos or bi weekly. And yeah, I'll catch y'all guys next time.